Bottom of the 8th. It's 3-3. That's where we stand right now. High fly ball to center. That should be easy. Chad Estep puts it away.
Come on, Blue. Let's get the bats going,
And that's
baby.
it for Louisville here in the 11th. We have played through 10.5 innings, and there's your score. Kentucky 3, Louisville 3. The Wildcats come calling in the bottom of the 11th when we come back.
Hey, wrong bat. Wrong bat. Next time, watch your head when you run across the pitcher. Get a good pitch. He's going to miss now. He's going to miss. Fastball, curveball back. He's going to miss.
Kentucky coming up in the bottom half of the 11th. I'm Rob Bromley. Tom Wallace along with me at Lexington, Kentucky Shively Field, as you get a look at part of this crowd that has turned out on an April evening to watch the Kentucky Wildcats and the Louisville Cardinals battle into extra innings.
They're hanging around pretty good, Rob. Not many of them gone home. Even the youngsters are sticking it out.
That's been a good ball game. Have not seen a lot of scoring. Not the kind of scoring that we saw last year when these two teams hooked up here at Shively. Kentucky winning that one by a count of 20-2. Chad Estep, center fielder, the leadoff hitter for the Wildcats, and he takes his strike. Estep hitting at only 108. He has played in 24 games, has started 10 ball games. 37 at bats. He has just 4 hits. Here's a foul ball, and quickly 2 strikes on Chad Estep, the Wildcats center fielder.
Braggart doing an outstanding performance.
Oh, he really has.
Breaking ball.
Other than that home run, he has just shut down the Wildcat hitters. Big home run by Brad Hindersman, which came in the bottom of the 8th to tie it up.
Well, the impressive thing is he's made so many clutch pitches. Kentucky has had people in scoring position, and he hasn't let them score.
Here's a ball hit down the right field line. Let's see if it's fair. Fair ball.
No, foul ball.
Foul ball. Not by much. I tell you, the right fielder was charging down there. I believe that's Sean Harkins out there in right. And for a moment there, I thought he was going to be able to make the catch, but he could not quite get to it.
Well, it's a big ballpark, but sometimes it comes down to a matter of inches. Yep, foul ball, but close.
Just foul. And a good effort by Harkins. Long strike, and Estep comes back, and it's now 1-2. Wildcats with 3 runs on 10 hits and 2 errors. Louisville with 3 runs on 9 hits and 1 error. And again, hit foul, this one down the left field line. And Estep really got around on that one.
They took something off the pitch. Estep way out in front of it. If you watch Louisville's catcher, Jason Heffron, he looks into the dugout and he gets a sign from someone in the dugout, maybe head coach Gene Baker. Unlike Billy Thompson, who calls the game for Kentucky.
And that pitch, well, Estep, I think he indicated to the home plate umpire that may have hit him. Inside, it's ball 2, 2-2. And chop foul outside of third and into the hands of third base coach John Butler. Count holding at 2 balls and 2 strikes to Chad Estep. Here in the bottom half of the 11th inning, Kentucky 3, Louisville 3.
Good battle going on here. Freebert and Estep.
Nobody out. Estep trying to get aboard. Ground ball through the left side. But Chad Estep with a big leadoff single here in the bottom half of the 11th, and perhaps that will get Kentucky going. Estep at first. He represents the winning run as Pookie Jones now comes to the plate.
Well, the pitch is up in the strike zone on the inner half of the plate. He just gave Estep too good a look at the ball, and he took advantage of it. Base hit to left.
And that only the 5th hit of the year for Chad Estep. That'll help raise his average. He's aboard at first with nobody out, and here is right fielder Pookie Jones.
It's the 7th inning, Rob, that Kentucky's had a leadoff base hit.
Freibert out of the stretch. Jones squaring to bunt, and bunts it hard to the third baseman, and the throw down to second. There's one. Back to first, and the ball gets away, and now Jones takes off for second base. And Pookie is nailed sliding in head first. That's a double play. Well, the Cardinals have turned some double plays, Tom, that have really helped them tonight, but this one is of the most unusual variety.
Yeah.
First of all, the ball bunted too hard.
Way too hard, right at the third baseman. He makes a nice throw. And here you just get a little help. The ball hits that concrete barrier back behind the base. Comes back. Nice play. Well, you really can't fault Pookie Jones for trying to be aggressive. Most base runners would have done that in that situation.
Here's Scott Etter now. Etter's coming to the game to play third base and hitting in the number 8 spot. Base is empty now with 2 men out in the bottom half of the 11th. And the pitch, a ball, 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike. And time called now by the home plate umpire.
As you can see, Heffron, the catcher, looking in for the sign. It took a little too long to get it, and it just stepped out.
Mark Etter with a base hit into left field. Well, he came in here tonight hitting only 158. He had 3 hits in 19 at-bats. That is his 4th hit of the season. And that just goes to show you how big that twin killing was a moment ago on the bunt attempt by Pookie Jones.
That was Louisville's 3rd double play of the game, so that's been a big savior for their pitching staff. Certainly been Freibert's best friend.
Left fielder now, Tom Thabert, the hitter. He singled to right his first time up. And the pitch in the dirt. 1-0. Thabert out of Manhattan, Kansas, a senior. Went to Butler County Junior College in the state of Kansas, a junior college transfer. He was a JUCO All-American his sophomore year. Throw to first, and Etter safely back.
Etter has good speed. He's a threat to run. Should Keith Madison elect to send him.
Etter now representing the winning run, but 2 outs in the inning. The pitch low and inside, and it's 2-0. Kentucky 3 and Louisville 3 as the Wildcats bat in the bottom half of the 11th inning. Freibert at the stretch. Here's the pitch, and hit deep to left field. Going back. Under it is Myers at the warning track, and he puts it away. Tom Thabert got into it, but just enough real estate out there to hold the ballpark. 2 hits in the inning, but the Wildcats unable to get anybody across. Let's pause now for all of our affiliates of Sports Channel. We played 11 innings of baseball. We're now going to the 12th. Louisville 3, Kentucky 3. The Wildcats with 3 runs, 12 hits, and 2 errors. Louisville 3 runs, 9 hits, and 1 error. And Jason Michalakis, the designated hitter, will step in to lead off for the Cardinals. Now Paul Morse has gone a long ways, hasn't he, Tom?
Sure has. Done a good job, as has Freibert for Louisville. Michalakis had a tough night. He had a single sandwiched in between 3 strikeouts.
Single to left for him, came back in the 7th inning. Then he was erased on a 6-4-3 double play. 1 strike. 0-1 now to Jason Michalakis out of Dubuque, Iowa. Pitch low and away, the count even. 1 ball and 1 strike.
It's important now for these two teams, both of them, to keep their concentration, not have any lapses.
Ball chopped toward short. Michael takes it on the big hop, had to hurry, and he got him. Good play by shortstop Jeff Michael.
Well, obviously the first base coach disagrees with that call. It was an excellent play by Michaels. Here's the end of the play. Let's see what it is.
Now Michael took it on the big hop and had to make the long throw, and
boy, that's close. I'd
say he was safe.
I'd say the first base coach has a legitimate argument.
The Michalakis grounds out short to first as the call is out at first, and the hitter now is the catcher, Jason Heffron. Heffron did not start the game. He came on in place of Scott Klein. Right-handed hitter out of Natrona Heights, Pennsylvania, went to Highlands High School. Count even now, 1 ball and 1 strike. That's a strike, and it's 1-2.
Morris's fastball's been overpowering tonight, Rob. These Louisville hitters have tried often to check their swing and haven't been able to do it. That one moved upward, and Heffron couldn't catch up with it.
Heffron has been up only 16 times all season. He has just 1 hit, so he's batting under 100, and there's a call, strike 3.
It's a perfect pitch, fastball, outside corner.
1 away here in the 12th, and the batter's second baseman, John Cuss, the junior out of Springfield, Ohio. Cuss is hitless thus far on the night. Fly to center back in the 3rd, struck out in the 5th, struck out in the 7th, and grounded out to first base in the 9th inning. 0-1 the count to it.
Louisville hitters just having all kinds of problems with Morris's fastball.
Good look at Gene Baker, the Louisville manager, coaching down at 3rd. Cuss with another good rip, and quickly it's 0-2. 2 outs in the 12th inning for the Cardinals. Nobody on base. Gene, prior to coming to Louisville, I believe coached at Northern Iowa.
Northern Iowa. Been in Louisville 3 years now.
He has a few players on his roster who have hailed from that part of the country. Cuss goes down swinging, and that's the 12th inning for Louisville. Quickly, 3 up and 3 down. We've played through 11.5 innings, and we're still tied. Wildcats coming up bottom of the 12th. It's Louisville 3, Kentucky 3. Here in the 12th inning, it'll be the top of the order for the Kentucky Wildcats. Jeff Michael, Matt Braga, and Billy Thompson, as they will come on to face sophomore right-hander Sean Thabert, who has pitched and pitched well here in Shively Field tonight. Tied up 3-3, Kentucky 3, Louisville 3.
Well, Thaibert's got his work cut out for him again in this inning. The top of the UK batting order. And again, Michael comes up with a single, double, triple already on his belt, and just a home run away from the cycle.
Michael batting for the 6th time tonight. He has 3 hits. And the pitch is strike, 0-1. Michael's triple came in the 1st, double came in the 5th inning, and the single in the 7th. Ball hit sharply into left center field. On the run in center field, it's hauled in by Charlie Allen. Now that ball was hit on the nose, but Allen with some speed and able to get over there and cut it off in left center.
He also got a very good jump on that ball, Rob. He had it all the way.
1 out now for left fielder Matt Braggart. And Braga is still looking for his first hit on the night. Had a sacrifice fly in the 1st inning to account for Kentucky's first run following the leadoff triple by Jeff Michael. Reached on an interference call in the 3rd, walked in the 5th, flied out to left in the 7th, grounded out to second base in the 10th. And he comes up for the 6th time here in the 12th inning, but only his 3rd official at bat. You can see the Wildcat bench.
Maybe that's rally pockets or rally line or something there.
Haven't turned the caps around yet. Pitch a little bit outside, 1-1 the count. Billy Thompson waiting on deck as Thabert works to the plate. High and away, it's 2-1 now. Here's the 2-1. And that's low, and it's 3-1 now. Now you look back on this ball game, Tom, you certainly think of the big clutch hits by Louisville in the top of the 8th inning and the home run by Hegdorn to tie it in the bottom of the 8th, but you look at all the opportunities that Kentucky had early in this game. Here's a base hit into center field by Matt Braga, his first hit of the night. Makes the big turn at first and holds on.
Well, there wasn't much conviction to that pitch, Rob. I think that Thabert was just intent on throwing a strike, and he threw one up that just didn't have anything on it, and Braga jumped all over it. Base hit.
Here's Billy Thompson now.
Keeps Kentucky's streak alive. They've had hit now in 11 of the 12 innings, including the last, I guess, 10.
Thompson, however, hitless, still hitless on the night. He's officially 0 for 4, takes a swing, the runner going, and the ball gets away from the catcher, Hegdorn. And Matt Braga in safely down at second base. So the Wildcats now with a potential winning run at second with only 1 out in the inning.
Well, this is a position Kentucky's been in several times in this game, Rob, the opportunity to score and haven't been able to capitalize. See if Louisville can get out of the hole one more time.
Here's the 0-1, hit on the ground to short. Well, that should be easy. Tommy Barnes makes the long throw, and that's 2 down. So it'll be up to Brad Hegdorn, the man who delivered the big home run back in the bottom of the 8th inning that tied this game. Hegdorn with 3 hits on the night, including the home run, and if he could get another one right here, he could win this ball game for the Kentucky Wildcats. Hegdorn officially 3 for 4.
They're going to put him on, Rob. They're not even going to take a chance with this guy. Well, he needs to make a better pitch than that. That's too close to the plate.
Hegdorn steps out, now steps back in.
rather face the right-hander Eddie Brooks than to face this guy. Also, it sets up the force play. It's good baseball.
2 down in the inning. Matt Braggart representing the potential winning run out at second base, and an intentional pass here is Hindersman now swinging at the pitch. He grounds it to short, and he's thrown out, and that's the inning.
Well, they need to work with Freibert on his pitch. It worked out for him, but that's not the way your catcher's standing up. Your defense sort of lax. So, and you can see there, that's...
All right, we played through 12 here at Shively Field, and we're still tied. Kentucky 3, Louisville 3. We'll be right back. Well, here in Lexington, Kentucky, I'm Rob Bromley, along with me, Tom Wallace, and we're heading to the top of the 13th. Louisville 3, Kentucky 3, and a new pitcher has come on for the Kentucky Wildcats. Tom, it'll be Matt Bowles. He comes in with a 3-4 record, has 1 save, a .434 earned run average.
Good look at him right there. Kentucky's pitchers have 15 strikeouts tonight, so he's got a tough act to follow. The guys that have preceded him have done an excellent job.
And for the Louisville Cardinals, it will be the top of the batting order. Shortstop Tommy Barnes steps in. And Bull's first pitch is a strike call. 0-1.
Done a good job with Barnes. 1 hit and 5 trips. Keeping the leadoff man, a guy like this, a dangerous guy off the base.
Now the pitch in the dirt, and it got away from Billy Thompson all the way back to the screen. 1 ball and 1 strike. Top half of the 13th inning now, as we have seen no scoring in this ball game since the 8th. Kentucky took a 2-1 lead going to the top of the 8th. Louisville went in front 3-2. Wildcats tied it on a home run by Brad Hindersman in the bottom of the 8th inning as the pitch is fouled off, and it's 1-2.
Brad Morris, Rob Morris had just gave up 2 hits in 4 1/3 inning. Didn't have a walk and had 7 strikeouts, so he turned in a really superb effort.
Yeah, indeed he did. And it's up now to Matt Bowles. There's a strike call, and Barnes is called out looking.
The 16th strikeout by Kentucky pitchers, and he's just picking up where his 3 that went ahead of him did, left off.
Second time that Barnes is struck out tonight. And here's Joe Hegdorn stepping in. Hegdorn came into the ball game earlier in place of Keith Dillon. He did not start tonight. 1 out. Nobody on base here in the 13th. Hegdorn still looking for his first hit. 1 ball and no strikes to him. And this pitch is outside. 2-0 now.
It's actually 3-0. I thought there was a mistake out there on the scoreboard.
Yeah, you are. You're right, Tom.
All 4 pitches.
4 pitches, all balls, and Hegdorn gets the free pass. So the potential go-ahead run now down at first base for Louisville. And the batter will be Tucker Howard. You look at Hegdorn at first. Thompson goes out of the mound, has a few quick words with Matt Bowles, and now he returns back behind the plate. And let's see what Tucker Howard can do here with 1 out in the 13th inning. Hegdorn walking on 4 consecutive pitches. Howard with that big home run back in the 8th, and he bangs it back up the middle into center field. That's a base hit. Hegdorn will have to stop at second. But the Cardinals now have him at first and second with 1 man out here in the 13th inning, and the batter will be Charlie Allen.
And he has hits his last 2 times up, a double and a single, double in the 8th, single in the 11th.
Key double in the 8th inning led to the go-ahead run for Louisville. And that ball a moment ago hit by Tucker Howard sharply right back up the middle off Matt Bowles. Pitch to Allen, down a little bit low. It's ball 1, 1-0.
Good job of Billy Thompson stopping that ball, keeping it in front of him.
Louisville with a 13th inning threat. Hegdorn leading off second. Tucker Howard leading off first. Strike call. 1-1 now.
Big hole in the left center. They pretty much play this guy straight away.
Allen came in here tonight batting at .307. He fouls this pitch off down the right side and out of play. 1-2. That one careening high off the light pole here at Shively Field. Good look at Matt Bowles, who has worked 47 2/3 innings this season. He's given up 50 hits. 2 home runs. Swung on and missed. Big strikeout for Matt Bowles as he gets Charlie Allen swinging. Allen fanning for the 3rd time this evening.
Looked like a slider, Rob, probably on the outer half of the plate, and an excellent pitch.
2 out in the inning now, and it's up to Darren Opel. Base hit right back up the middle. And here comes Hegdorn heading for the plate. Throw coming in, and it looked like it hit the runner. Hegdorn scores the go-ahead run. Darren Opel coming through with a clutch base hit right back up the middle with 2 outs here in the 13th inning, and it scores Joe Hegdorn with a go-ahead run, and Louisville has just taken a 4-3 lead.
Well, right down the middle and right back up the middle.
Oh, you know, that looked identical to the base hit a moment ago by Tucker Howard.
The throw to the plate tailing off a little bit.
Yeah, I thought it might have hit the runner and got away from Thompson. A little hard to tell even in that shot when we slow it down. Darren Opel delivering his 2nd hit of the evening, and it is a big one.
Well, Louisville's just done a better job of manufacturing runs, taking advantage of their scoring opportunities. Yeah, it did. The ball hit off the ground and up off Thompson, didn't hit the runner, but wasn't really close.
Here in the 13th, Louisville has broken through and has taken the lead for the 2nd time tonight. 4-3 Cardinals now as Glenn Myers bats here in the 13th. And this ball in the dirt, momentarily it got away from Billy Thompson, but he quickly recovers.
It's important that that Bowles settles himself and gets this guy out. He doesn't want to give up a 2nd run. Much easier to score 1 than it is to score 2.
Glenn Myers looking for his 1st hit of the evening, and it would be a big insurance run here if he could get it. Pitch low in the dirt. Good stop again by Thompson. 2-0 now. Kentucky led most of the way until the 8th. That was when Louisville went on top. Wildcats came back, tied it up on a home run by Hindersman. And now Louisville is broken on top here in the 13th. Ground ball down to 3rd. That should be easy because all you have to do is step on the bag and get the force. Etter makes the play unassisted. And that's it here in the 13th for the Louisville Cardinals. But Louisville breaks through with a run and takes the lead for the 2nd time tonight. We've played 12.5. Louisville 4, Kentucky 3. The Kentucky Wildcats coming up now in the bottom half of the 13th inning, and unless Keith Madison's team can pick itself up off the mat here in the bottom of the 13th, Tom, the Wildcats are in for one tough loss here tonight.
Yeah, snap a win streak, break a little of their momentum. But I'm sure Keith Madison would tell his team that, you know, non-conference game, that you just got to come back and get ready for this weekend SEC series. There's a good look at a man right there who's just had one tremendous game today.
Boy, you could hang the MVP on his head, couldn't you?
Yes, you could. He has been really superb. All the pitchers actually in this game Bowles had some trouble, but the Kentucky pitchers and all pitchers have done an outstanding job. Freebird, 7 innings, 8 hits, 1 run, 3 strikeouts, no walks.
Second baseman Eddie Brooks leads it off here in the bottom of the 13th, and a ball hit sharply out to left field. That is in for a base hit, knocked down by Myers. He plays it back into the infield, but Eddie Brooks on with a leadoff single for Kentucky.
Well, Brooks has hit the ball hard too many times not to get a couple of base hits tonight, and that is his second hit. And it's a great way to start the inning. He went down and got a pitch that it was an excellent pitch. It's down in the strike zone. He went down and got it and stroked it to left field.
Brooks with a single to left back in the 4th inning, and he comes through with another single to left here in the 13th.
And Brooks is another runner with great speed.
Center fielder Chad Estep now looking down to get a sign from third base coach John Butler, as you see Brooks holding on at first. Tucker Howard to hold him on there. And Estep steps in. Freibert, as he has done all evening long, wants to keep those runners holding close at first base.
I think that was called by the catcher. I think the catcher indicated that he wanted Freibert to throw to first base.
Chad Estep with a single his last time up. That was back in the 11th inning. He swings and misses and throw down to second, but in sliding safely is Eddie Brooks, as the catcher there had a tough time getting that ball out of his hand.
Yeah, Heffron bobbled the ball and sort of double clutched, and when that happened, he had no shot. Had to hurry his throw. It was to the left field side of second base, and that wasn't even close. And Kentucky now has a great opportunity.
Here's another look at it. You'll see Jason Heffron here. The pitch low and in the dirt, and then right there he had trouble getting it out of his glove. And it's awful tough to make any kind of a play after that slight bit of hesitation.
Yeah, that was a tough pitch for him to handle also. That was, he would have had a tough time making a good throw on that one. That was all he could do just to handle that pitch down and sort of in the dirt.
Count is 0-1. And the tying run now in scoring position out at second base for Kentucky. And Estep squares to bunt and bunts it foul. And Heffron right on top of that ball in a hurry.
Again, it comes down to execution. You know, I think everybody in the ballpark knew there was going to be a bunt in that situation. And you've got to put it down. Now you're 0-2, and you've pretty much taken away your bunt opportunity.
Louisville leading it here in the 13th inning of play, 4-3. Wildcats have had 14 hits. Cardinals have had 11. Chad Estep steps back in, and here's the 0-2 pitch now from Freibert as he checks the runner back at second base. Squaring to bunt again and takes this pitch. It's low, and the count 1-2. Pookie Jones waiting in the on-deck circle for the Wildcats. He'll be up there next.
Well, third baseman Opal is holding his ground on this bunt situation, so it's going to be up to Freibert to field any bunt that's down the third base side.
Nobody out in the inning. Kentucky with a potential tying run out at second. Here's the 1-2. And bunted foul, and he's out.
Goes a strikeout. Well, again, Rob, it just all comes down to execution. The teams that execute the best in critical situations win games. And that involves being able to put that bunt down, move that runner, get him to third. There's so many ways he can score from third base.
Now still only one out in the inning, and here's Pookie Jones, who has had only one hit all night long. I beg your pardon, he has not had a hit. Hit into a double play his last time out. Jones 0 for 4 in the ball game. as he faces Sean Fribert, the Louisville right-hander, here in the bottom half of the 13th inning with a tying run out at second base. Down low, 1-0. 4-3 Louisville.
Pookie, of course, is starting quarterback for the Kentucky football team.
Brooks with a good lead off second, and this pitch is low. It's 2 balls and no strikes.
Well, he's going to get a good pitch to hit here. It'll be interesting to see if Fribert will give in and throw a fastball, or if he'll stick with the curveball, which is the pitch that they would probably prefer to give to Jones.
Two-0 pitch from Fribert, and a check swing. Ball hit right back up the middle. Glove nicely there, and the throw pulled the first baseman off the bag. Oh, that was almost a fine play by Tommy Barnes, but Pookie Jones is safe at first base. Let's get another look at that.
I didn't know how they would score that, but that's a hit, and that's what it should be. A really good play by Tommy Barnes.
Absolutely. Look at him here. He really had to hustle, Tom.
Check swing by Pookie Jones.
That ball was not hit that hard. But the throw pulling the first baseman off the bag, and Jones is safe at first. And Eddie Brooks moves now around to third.
Of course, everyone knows Jones has great speed, and Tommy Barnes, well aware of that, knew he had to hurry the throw. Went across behind second base, made an outstanding play. Good effort by Tommy Barnes.
Big powwow now on the mound for the Louisville Cardinals as the Kentucky Wildcats have a most serious threat going here in the bottom half of the 13th inning. The infield hit a moment ago for Pookie Jones. Eddie Brooks, who singled earlier, now is around at third base. Wildcats have him on the corners with only one man out in the inning. And the batter will be Mark Etter.
Of course, the possibility of Jones stealing is certainly very big. Get him to second, stay out of the double play. Of course, if he were to steal second, I'm sure they would walk Etter. Right now, they can't walk Etter because you don't want to put the winning run on second base. And Coach John Butler just wanted to make sure everything's squared away. It looks like they're going to have a pinch hitter, I think.
Yeah, Etter with a base hit to left his last time up. That came back in the 10th inning, and now he goes back to the batter's circle. Apparently just going to get a little bit of what, the rosin or tar on that bat.
Yeah.
A little bit of pine tar on the end of the bat. Etter struck out in the 9th inning. He led off the 9th. And a base hit in the 10th.
John Butler making sure that everybody knows what's going on. No confusion.
Now Brooks leading off third. Pookie Jones leading off first. Louisville leading 4-3, but Kentucky with a threat going here in the bottom of the 13th inning. 2 on, 1 out. And Etter squares to bunt, the pitch low. And quickly Hegdorn now looks Brooks back to third base.
Well, I think you ought to walk. I think you ought to walk this guy.
Pookie Jones now down at second.
First base open, Rob. I'd be inclined to walk this guy. Set up the double play.
I can see what you mean. Give you a force at every base.
Jones was not credited with the stolen base on that.
Yeah, Hegdorn with a good decision just to hold on to the baseball, really. Although that is now the potential winning run out at second base. Base hit here can win the game for the Wildcats.
Very good pitch. Lower half of the strike zone.
1 ball and 1 strike.
They generally use the word cagey with left-handers, but this guy right here is pretty cagey.
1-1 pitch. Down low, and it's 2-1. Eddie Brooks representing the tying run at third, and Pookie Jones representing the potential winning run for Kentucky out at second base.
You can see the infield is playing in. They're going to come to the plate with it. That just makes it much easier to get a base hit through the infield. Chancy, risky move here by Coach Baker.
Here's the 2-1. The ball bunted right in front of the plate.
Excellent.
And the Wildcats win the ball game. That ties the ball game, I beg your pardon. Tying run scores on the bunt.
An excellent bunt there. That ball was, and there was a suicide squeeze all the way there. Brooks was on his way. He was on his horse. You see, he's coming right now.
Good bunt laid down by Mark Etter.
Excellent bunt. You can see there's no play at all on Brooks. He's there.
Brooks is right there with a tying run. That ties it 4-4. And we get another look at it here from the camera behind home plate. The ball momentarily bobbled by Thabert. He had no play then at first base.
Thabert would have been better off just to hold that and not risk throwing it away.
All hands safe. Kentucky now still with runners at first and third, and the game tied 4-4. But Kentucky still needs one more run to chalk this one up in the win column.
Well, you ought to bring your outfielders in a little closer to the net, Rob. Fly ball over their head or deep is going to score a run anyway. And you try to bring them in, hope that a single maybe you can nail a guy at the plate.
Etter now takes off for second base. Of course, he is meaningless.
Yeah.
The only man that Louisville is concerned about right now is Pookie Jones standing there at third. Pookie Jones representing the winning run.
Still not sure why they're not walking some of these guys and loading the bases and set up that double play situation.
Big swing and a miss by Tom Thabert. And it's an 0-2 count on him now.
Thabert can really ease the pressure on himself if he could get a strikeout here, Rob. Still be in trouble, but it would be a big out.
0-2 pitch. And hit sharply in the left field, and that'll do it. Tom Thabert with a clean single to the left field, scoring Pookie Jones, and the Kentucky Wildcats really picked themselves up off the mat here in the bottom half of the 13th inning. They went in trailing 4-3. They score twice and bounce back to win it 5-4. We'll be back to wrap it up after this. Well, back at Shively Field in Lexington, where the Kentucky Wildcats win their 6th consecutive game, and they do it the long route. 13 innings. They pull it out in the bottom half of the 13th with 2 runs, winning over the Louisville Cardinals 5-4. And Tom Wallace, it took a long time, but you give the Cats credit. They picked themselves up off the mat in the bottom half of the 13th.
Yeah, they'd had their opportunities. They'd squandered them, but when their back was absolutely against the wall and they had to come through with a rally, they did it. They did it with the great execution there at the end, and of course the clutch base hit, the game-winning base hit by Thabert. Big win for Kentucky, disappointing win, I would think, for a disappointing loss for Louisville, but in a way, I think Coach Baker shouldn't be too disappointed. His ball club played very well, certainly didn't look like a team with the record that it has, and of course on the other side again, Keith Madison keeps that momentum going, and a big win.
Well, it sure was. The key hits for Kentucky in the bottom half of the 13th, that bunt single by Mark Etter, which scored Pookie Jones to tie the game, and then the RBI single by Tom Thabert, which brought in the winning run in the bottom of the 13th. That wraps it up from here in Lexington. The executive producer, Mike Laird. Producer, Mike Canarak. And our director tonight, Tom Bickle. This has been a special sports presentation of Sports Channel.